I think the Giants can beat the Cowboys, but will they? Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. It's game week. But not only is it game week, the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys are playing Monday night prime time television. And you know, every time these two teams play, it's a hard-fought game. And I hope that this Monday will be just the same. Now, the first thing you're going to say is, well, Dallas Cowboys don't have Dak Prescott. And trust me, as a Giants fan, if we're going to go in there and beat Dallas, I want to beat Dallas at their full strength. I don't want to be playing against Cooper Rush, but right now that's what the situation is. And with Cooper Rush coming off of that win against the Bengals, you know, people are starting to talk like, yeah, even though we have Cooper Rush, we can still beat these Giants. But let's get all the way into that. There's a lot of things with this Dallas team that I think we can take advantage of. Well, maybe not a lot, but there's a few things that I think we could take advantage of, and Cooper Rush is one of those. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. The channel is growing, and it's all because of you. Salute. Now, we already know when we talk about these New York Giants, we talk about Daniel Jones, we talk about Saquon Barkley. And right now, the running game looks a certain way. Our defense is playing well. But one of the keys to this game and a key to victory is getting these wide receivers involved. Not saying that making this a passing game, but we definitely got to get these wide receivers involved. We don't want to become one-dimensional against this Dallas defense. Now, Kenny Golladay, we don't know what's going on with Kenny Golladay. Is he disgruntled? He pretty much looks disgruntled. Is he being used? Absolutely not. Is he healthy? We don't know. He seems to be healthy. He's talking like he's healthy. But I think the key this week is, call me crazy, it's going to be Darius Slayton. Does Darius Slayton play? Because you need a deep threat, and the guys like Richie James, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard aren't really deep threats. Those are your intermediate type of receivers. Now, Shep can get deep. He proved it. He proved it this year already. But I don't depend on Shepard to be the deep guy every time. And with Darius Slayton only getting like 2 snaps last week, and whatever doghouse he's in right now, I just hope that they're able to utilize him. But the guy that's the most important to this receiving core or group is going to be the player Kadarius Toney. Are we going to see that explosive playmaker that we saw last year against Dallas? Or are we going to see the guy that's, been in the last 2 games where he's not really being used, and the time that he is being used, things are getting called back because of penalty. Like, he had a nice catch last game, but it got called back. So can we keep it clean, and can we get these wide receivers involved? Now, after saying that, of course, you want a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley. You want a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley in the running game as well as the receiving game. And can we do that? Can we get Saquon Barkley matched up against these linebackers? Now, outside of that, the offensive line still are trying to gel, still getting their chemistry together. This is a young offensive line. And one thing that people keep saying and talking about the Giants is, how the offense is one-dimensional. You can't do everything with Barkley. And that's very, very true. This is very, very true. But my thoughts to that is you cannot keep going in these games and having these teams key on Saquon Barkley and have these slow starts. Now, do you take a shot deep early? Maybe, maybe not. Last week, and actually the first 2 games, we have had these first half struggles where we're starting off slow. Even with the turnovers early last week, we couldn't get touchdowns on the board. We had to settle for field goals, and we cannot do that with this Dallas team. We cannot do this with this Dallas team. We want to be able to control the clock. And to do that, we have to score touchdowns instead of field goals and get their offense off of the field on third down. Now, talking about Dallas's defense, Micah Parsons is phenomenal. He looks like he's going to be a special player for a long time. People are talking about comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. I say pump the brakes on that, because Lawrence Taylor was the greatest defensive player in it of all time. The greatest defensive player of all time And now they're trying to say, Micah Parsons can be that. Now, listen, I don't knock the guy's skill set. I know that he's special. It's just that me being a Giants fan, I'm absolutely biased when I hear anybody compared to Lawrence Taylor. I was feeling that way when they were comparing Aaron Donald to Lawrence Taylor. So imagine Micah Parsons. Okay. Now, Micah Parsons, again, is very special. He is a game wrecker, and he is also aggressive. And a lot of these linebackers for the Dallas Cowboys are aggressive. The whole damn defense is aggressive for the most part. So what do you do? Do you do screens? Do you run at those defenders, at those pass rushers? Do you not worry about the Dallas Cowboys and run your game plan? That's another thing. And I think with Kafka, these guys have been studying. They have the extra day to study because it's a Monday night game. They're getting that scheme together. Now, how do you do it? How do you approach this game? Do you key Micah Parsons? I think you do. I think you keep the tight end in there to chip him. I think you chip him with a running back, especially in this passing game. I think you have to do things like that for Micah Parsons. But the rest of that defensive line is very strong too. Ogunjobi, you got Lawrence on the end. That linebacker crew has also Anthony Barr, Van Der Esch, Sam Williams, the rookie. A lot of these guys are coming on strong, and you saw it in that game. But even with that great performance by their defense, Cincinnati still held in there and was in that game for the entirety of that game. So I take some, I get some confidence from that. Because again, I think that our defense with Wink Martindale, I think we're favored against that Dallas Cowboys offense, and it's just because of Cooper Rush right now. We haven't seen the best play from the Giants yet. We have not seen it. The defense is playing very strong, but guess what? No Kayvon Thibodeau, no Azeez Ojulari, and we are probably not going to have Leonard Williams. I know we're not going to have Leonard Williams for this game. So we're not even firing at all cylinders yet. So all these people talking about, the Giants are a fluke, this, that, and the other, we're not even playing at our full capacity yet. And if we do that, we'll see exactly what happens. But again, this is one game at a time. This is us versus the Dallas Cowboys. And getting back to our defense, okay, if Wink does what he does best, is confuse the quarterback pre-snap, overload some sides of the offensive line to confuse the offensive line's play calls and gap assignments and things like that. I think Wink is going to do that. We talk about how Wink's blitz package is so elaborate. But in the first two games, we haven't even seen anything close to what Wink has been doing in the past. I think this game, and a lot of people do, a lot of Giants fans do, they think that in the chat that I'm in, also I see it in other streams, a lot of Giants content creators believe that this is going to be the first time that we really see some blitz packages, actual blitz packages, not just simple schemes and overloading sides and stunts, actual blitz packages to try to confuse Cooper Rush. Because again, this will be Cooper Rush's, I believe, third start ever. And I like those chances with Wink Martindale. I like the way the secondary is coming together. We thought when Aaron Robinson was going to go down that, we have some issues. Cordell Flott did a pretty good job. He had the issue where he fell down in the end zone and gave up that touchdown. But outside of that, he had a pretty good game. And I think they go right back to Cordell Flott, let him play the CB2. But if he struggles, we have the veteran Fabian Moreau to come in and try to spell him just like we did last week. So, and that's another thing about this Giants team. We're able to make adjustments and execute those adjustments. We go into halftime. We feel a certain way. The team is beating us some kind of way. And then you go into the second half and you see that they stop that. Same thing as the offense. Last week we had an issue starting the game, especially running. And then we went into halftime and came back out. And then all of a sudden we're able to run the ball again. So I like what these coaches are doing. I think that our coaching staff is better than that Dallas Cowboys coaching staff. And I think that's all. I think that's all you like to think about, or all I like to think about when going into this game. Whenever I'm doubting about certain matchups and things like that, I think about these coaches are going to have these guys ready to play, because right now they have shown me that we don't have the best roster, or people think that we don't have the best roster. You can say that we don't have the best roster, but it just goes to show you what coaching can do. Because a lot of these guys are held over from last year. They made some new adjustments and they added some new players, but a lot of these guys are new. And it just goes to show you how important coaching is. And now, Earlier in the preseason, I heard Dallas Cowboys complain about their offensive coordinator. I heard they complain about their head coach. Dan Quinn, I believe, is solid because look at how his defense is playing. But I think if you attack the Dallas Cowboys' strengths, and it sounds funny, they like to be aggressive. So how do you attack an aggressive defense? By tricking them. You run the screen pass. Those guys are crashing hard. You dump it. You dump the shallow pass. You get your check downs. You attack the center of the field when they're coming in heavy on the edges. You run the ball. You run the ball. Now we could talk about our interior offensive line all day. And yes, they need to gel. We have some new players in there. The whole three, Zudu or Bredesen, depending on who's playing left guard, Feliciano and Glowinski, all these guys are new. Heck, you even had Evan Neal at right tackle. Those are all new guys on the team, and they're slowly gelling. And this is only their third game playing together. And I think we only get better, but we need to be able to run the ball. Don't shy away from it. If they stop it early, or if you need to make the adjustments, make the adjustments. But Saquon Barkley is key. You have to make sure that he's getting his touches, because as long as he's getting his touches, that keeps the defense honest, and then we can have these wide receivers hopefully step up this game. Kadarius Toney, if it's David Sills, if it's Richie James, Darius Slayton, please, coach. Well, that's more of an ask to the coach. Coach, please get Darius Slayton in there. I think this is going to be a game that you actually need the guy. You need his skill set in this game, especially against these cornerbacks, because all the Dallas like I said before, the whole defense plays aggressively. And I think when they're playing aggressive, they have that Diggs, not Stephon Diggs, sorry. They have that Diggs state of mind where they're risky. They like to take chances, and burn them for it. Now, can Daniel Jones do that? A lot of people will say no. Some people will say yes. I want to see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Daniel Jones, I need you in this game. It's prime time. You're winless when it comes to prime time. We are winless when it comes to prime time. This is a step up game. This is a step up game. Not saying that you have to have some crazy stats. No. We need you to be turnover free. We need you to make the right decisions, and we need you to get the ball out fast. And if we do those things, I think our defense can hold that Dallas offense. And maybe it's a low-scoring game. I've heard ranges of people saying 17-13. Me, myself, I think the Giants win 24-21. We win because of Graham Gano with a field goal. But again, I think it's absolutely possible for the New York Giants to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. And what we're doing in the stadium, it's a whiteout. The Giants got their white jerseys on, and the fans are going to have their white shirts and white towels, and we're going to bring that energy again this week. And you saw the email from Coach Dabes. He wants everybody live, just like we were last week, and even more. And I think that's going to be easy because it is a rivalry game against the Dallas Cowboys. What more do you want? What more can you ask for? And if the Giants pull this win off, it's going to be fantastic for the fan base, fantastic for the players, and the momentum going into the rest of the season will be high. Absolutely be high. But I want to thank you guys for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.